Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of our series Road to 1 Million. In our last video we managed to efficiently use our time and acquire a loan of 100k, scoped out this lovely building in Midtown and started our journey into becoming a business owner of a clothing store. Today we'll take that further and finish what we started. This place is medium-sized, but we have just about enough space to place a couple of storage shelves in the back room. The main room will be filled with the required items for this store, such as the changing rooms and clothing racks. We'll start out with the changing rooms and the speaker system. These are one of the easiest things to install, so we might as well get them out of the way. Next up, we'll install the security cameras. A quick note here, there has also been a fix released on September 6th, which involved the camera coverage that is now indicated when you place a new camera. Previously, placing a secondary camera, you would not be able to determine what the other camera was covering exactly, so you could potentially overlap the same area with multiple cameras and not use them efficiently. The goal here is to try and be as structured as possible and fill up this floor with clothing racks. More clothing racks means more variety, which in turn will yield better profits. My advice is to start with just a couple of different items and see how they sell. In most cases, the cheap clothing variety and the modern one will sell very good. In my opinion, this part is the least enjoyable in the process of setting up a clothing store. There are plenty of racks we have to place, and after we're done, we still need to go into each individual rack and select the type of clothing they will display. Luckily, with the addition of the blueprint feature, we don't need to worry as much when considering expansion. Now the layout is pretty much done, so we can focus our attention to scheduling deliveries. As mentioned earlier, the classic cheap and modern cheap variety of clothing usually sell well, and in most cases the female clothing versions are more sought after compared to male versions, so we will start with that. There is of course room for more, but we don't want to waste more time being closed, so let's hop into our car and find the closest supermarket available. We need to get some food because we will be the only employee for our business for a few days, and we will need food just as before to ensure our energy does not deplete faster than it should. As we are fast approaching our grand opening, we need to make sure that we have an opening schedule. As we are the only employee, we have no choice but to keep it limited to 8 hours. We will also need to assign each clothing rack a specific item. Something I mentioned in my top 10 tips video is that you need to pay close attention to the Inside tab in Bizman view. For now we will only have 2 types of clothing, so we have limited our store in a way. However, in a couple of days we will order a wider variety of clothes, and we will have to make sure that each clothing item has enough coverage so that we don't limit our customer capacity per hour. Our store is ready to do business, and so are we. Let's work the shift and check how much profit we can make. In case you have forgotten, we were making only $200 per day at our supermarket job just a few days ago. It is also important not to use the skip time button from the get-go. We can use this time to check if our customers have anything to say about our store. Sometimes we may find useful feedback, such as that the floors and walls are ugly or that the customer service is bad. And based on this, we can make improvements. And it appears that on our first day, we operated at a loss of $162. On the surface, this may look bad, but looking into EconoView, we can see that our shop has actually made 1.2k. But considering all of our expenses, it left us with a negative amount. Let's give our shop another day and check if our profits can outweigh our expenses. And another day has passed and we successfully made $962 in profit, which is amazing news. So we got the confirmation that our business is turning a profit, which means it's time for us to stop working and hire some employees. Having others handling the customer service will enable us to look for expansion opportunities. And we will need the help of a recruitment agency for this. Sadly, we cannot hire anyone without going to the business school first. This is a small hiccup in our plans, but it needs to be done, so let's go to school and study. During this time, we will lose money as our business will have to close. But we need to look at this in a positive way. Soon enough we will start making thousands per day. And just like that, in a quick 4 days we studied everything there was. Now we can finally go ahead and hire a few people to help with our clothing store. In the same fashion of time efficiency, we will use this day to also order a couple more storage shelves. Since we won't have to worry about covering shifts, we can start using this time to think about ways to expand. A greater variety of clothing options will eventually yield more profit. So let's go back to our store and get some much needed sleep. Tomorrow we will receive our shelves and also a list of candidates. With the shelves now in place, we can focus on filling out our schedule. We need to pay attention to the needs of our employees. Some might not want to work more than 5 days a week, like Gilda here. So we'll need to make adjustments to accommodate these needs. If we fail to do so, we will end up with an unhappy employee that will eventually leave us. The best course of action in our case here is to give Gilda the cleaning station shift. This way we have 2 full-time employees covering the cashier for 14 hours every day, and Gilda can work the cleaning station for only 5 days as requested. In this game, having a uniform for your employees is very important to your customers, so let's create one for our store. I want our employees to feel comfortable, so we'll go with a classic t-shirt, jeans and a pair of comfy shoes. Today we managed to optimize our store a bit better, so let's go to sleep and check if our profits have increased. And good news here, it seems that we made 1.1k, and that's with paying the salaries of 3 employees. That being said, it's time for expansion. Let's place an order for more clothing racks and increase our clothing variety. There's no right or wrong in terms of the location where we place these racks. If you're more creative than me, you may find a different, more fashionable way to do this. But in my case, my only aim is to fit as many as possible so we reach our customer capacity goal. And now for the tedious part. With the aid of the insight window, we will need to make adjustments to the distribution of clothes based on their capacity. The aim here is not to hinder our customer capacity per hour by having only one rack with one type of clothing. These need to be distributed equally. We need to also remind ourselves that for now we are limited by the number of cashiers as well. With only one available, the maximum customers we can have is 20, although the building supports up to 30. Now that we finished adjusting the clothing racks, it is time to make some price increases as well. The key here is to make small increases and check the insight screen after each day to see if the customers agree with your prices. Finally, after spending our time wisely and tuning our business, it is time to see if our profits reach the height of our expectations. And there we have it. With 2.8k, this business is a success. And the best part is that our profits are not done here. After we will make some changes to our walls and floors, as well as increase the customer service skill of our employees, our customers will be more than happy to pay even more than this. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and the process of setting up our first business in our road to 1 million and beyond. I'll see you in the next one.